Craig, you must be really pleased to end the 2025 season with victory this afternoon against Barrow Raiders.
Yeah, massively so. Whenever you play Barrow, you've got to graft and you've got to grind. They're the sort of team that will just keep competing all the way through the game. And with the weather conditions as it was, windy and wet and rainy, it's not going to be a pretty game out there. And so you've got to graft and grind to beat Barrow. And I thought we did that really well today.
That first half 10-0 lead going in at the break. We come back out and the Barrow do get that first score of the second half, but just how pleased were you with obviously the response that we got from not letting us go behind there with that try to obviously respond, get further tries and secure victory?
Yeah, disappointing to concede that try because we'd highlighted at half time a couple of times in that first half. We'd switched off at marker and they'd got a couple of half breaks coming through at marker, and that's exactly what happened with that try. We just switched off and just overworked a little bit and we allowed them to get through and score the try. But yeah, really pleasing that we showed a little bit of resilience and determination, a bit of desperation as well to prevent them scoring, apart from the try that they got at the end, which looking back on the video, it looks like we were quite a considerable amount of way into touch. But fortunately for us, we put some points on the board by that time.
One thing I did want to ask you, noticing your interchange, your decisions this afternoon, quite varied. We didn't make many early on. As I say, you've said all season we've been doing it tough. Was it similar again this afternoon?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we turned up today. I didn't even know what the team was until 1:30. Cravo had a fitness test, and Massey, Massey weren't fit. He put his hand up to play if we needed him, so we had Jaden on the bench there to cover the outside backs. But like I say, it was 1:30 before we know what the team was. We've not trained at all this week in any sort of capacity really. We had 12 on the field on Tuesday, 13 on the field on Wednesday, and we did the team run with 14 on Friday. So it's been a really disjointed week in training, just trying to get bodies patched up and on the field, and the way that the backed each other up today out there were really pleasing as a coach to see that togetherness, which we've been trying to look for all season really.
I think we've got to obviously touch upon that try for Chris Wellham. Great decision by Ryan to play that inside for Wellham.
It wasn't a great decision, mate. I had palpitations sat up there in the stand, but fortunately it came off, and I think it will fit in that he managed to get that try for his 50th try for Sheffield in his 450th game, and then also managed to get the goal kick at the end there. Just had a bit of a laugh and a joke in there, saying that he's had a few attempts this year at kicking goals. He's moved in closer and closer to the sticks and managed to get one there. So it's a fitting tribute for Wello to go out with a try, a goal, but to also recognise that his 450th game with a win. I'm really pleased that we got that for him.
First league double in the league as well this year, and as I say, back-to-back victories. That must even please you more.
Yeah, it does, and it's been a turbulent year this year. Number of injuries that we've had, you can't really get away from that. But the last couple of weeks, where we've had Marshy back and we've had Faz back as well, and Jack Bussey back today. We brought Jack Bussey in at the start of the season to play 13 and be that link between the middle and the halves and the edges, and he's not really been able to play there because he's played all over the park because of the injuries that we've had. But seeing them people in significant roles there today and the impact that they had, I think it's been really beneficial for us. And even bringing Harry Bowes in, I thought Harry Bowes, since he's been outstanding, playing that 9 and 13 role as well. So he gives us that little bit of that flexibility, and that's why you mentioned about us interchanges earlier on. That first half when he used 2 interchanges, and I'm not really one for making interchanges for the sake of it. If players are travelling all right and the game's looking all right, we'll keep people out there as long as we can. And we saved 6 interchanges for the second half. I don't think we used them all as well. So it's great to finish the game with interchanges in the bag and the fitness there for the players getting through that 80 minutes.
On Jack Bussey, man of match performance, how pleased were you with these contributions?
Yeah, massively so, mate. He's had a difficult time over the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks away from rugby. So for him to come back and play like he did today, I think that were really pleasing for him. And as I say, it was nice to get him out there as a 13, which is a position that we signed him to play. And I think we saw today the benefit that it can give a team when he's actually playing in the position that is comfortable in.
And I can imagine now, as I say, you can go off, all of us, enjoy some well-deserved time off. And even though we'll obviously have that time, you'll still be going on in the background with recruitment and stuff next year, won't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's the busiest time of the year for a coach because although the games are finished and you've not got any training to do, any games to prep or review, you're speaking to agents, you're meeting players, you're driving all over the north of England meeting players and meeting agents, and I think for every player that you sign, you probably sit down and speak to 6 or 7 for that position. So it's not a case of right, that's the individual that we want, we'll go out and get him, because it's not quite as simple as that, because the player pool's that small that everybody else is trying to recruit the same people as well. So it's a really busy time for coaches in the off season, and we've got to prep and plan for next pre-season as well, where we're going to come back in sort of early to mid-November and have a good sort of 6-7 weeks before that Christmas period, and get some base work put down, and hopefully hit the ground running next season. And I've said previously that I'm already looking forward to next pre-season to get going.
So you said it was a lot of grafting and hard work up there. You must have been pleased as well, though, that some of your tries there was a lot of free-flowing rugby. Was that an offload? One of them.
I think in that respect, it's trying to get that message across that it don't always happen where you've got to play free-flowing rugby. You've got to do the hard graft first. You've got to put yourself in a position to be able to do that, and completing your sets and defending tough and putting a team in the corner. I thought the end of sets were really good today, and Barrow kept going out of their own 20-metre area. Quite consistently, and that's when it frees up to play some attractive rugby. You get some second phase stuff because the opposition are fatigued and they're getting tired, and they're not quite as aggressive as what they normally are. So you get them offload, you get them second phase bits playing. It looks really attractive, but you've got to put yourself in a position by doing the hard work first and foremost.
And then discipline was pretty good today as well. I thought didn't give many penalties away, not many chances for them to get out.
No, you're right, and I think the referee let it flow a little bit today. I think there were quite a few times where ordinarily you could maybe give a six again or a penalty, but I thought he let it flow for both teams today, and you don't mind that when there's consistency there. It's if he's letting things go, then he's letting things go for both sides. Then there's that consistency. Then you just got to adapt to how the referee's refereeing the game. But I thought we were very consistent today, and no complaints at all.
And just how important was it to end the season on a win and a good performance?
Yeah, I think it was. To go into that off season with back-to-back victories and end the season on a win after the difficult season that we've had. Although it don't make up for the season that we've had. It gives you a little bit of positivity moving into next season now that there's some green shoots there that we can build on.